Hey, welcome back to Reaction Bite Radio. This is your host, Kevin Postawait, and your co host.
Julie Price.
And we are with Ty Din, a local West Virginia angler, and we're here to discuss Ty's angling journey, his plans for the future, and to talk all things Ty. So, Ty, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Getting a little bit, how do you call that when they say homesick? So fish sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the snow is flying, so it's easily done this time of year. It's cabin fever, right?
Yep.
So, I saw a video you posted the other day. So, for any listeners or anyone that doesn't know Ty, Ty's active on social media. Your social media is Only Fishing Fans, right? On YouTube.
Yes,
And
YouTube and TikTok. I only sell naked pictures of fish. Yep.
well, there you go. But I saw a video the other day and it prompted me to ask this question. You were at, was it Ferguson's Great Outdoors, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
And you were talking about fishing lures or fishing stuff that's on sale there or something. So, Ty, what would be your ideal shopping list for a new bass angler? So if
A new
someone,
bass
y-
angler.
yep, if grandma was buying something for uh grandkid that was starting, if what should she buy?
That's funny because I have two nephew. They're my age and my brother's age when we actually got into fishing. And of course, that was bluegill fishing and stuff, but they're a little bit more advanced into that. So I asked them, hey, what do you guys want for Christmas? And they sent me pictures of what they wanted. It's a mystery tackle box, mega bass box or whatever, so that they can open it up and see what bait they have in there. And then they can learn how to fish that depending on the season, the day. They even wanted an advent calendar for like a bait advent calendar where they open up one day, they look at that bait, they fish, they test that bait out. So for a beginning angler, like, child or someone of age that are getting into it, I would get them something simple. Something that you can teach them, like maybe a Ned rig, teach them how to be patient, or like a drop shot or something to drag with, because you know how kids are when they get bored, and they would like just sit in the back of the boat and then they hold their fishing pole and they're just dragging. And you know what? Sometimes luck pans out, they'll get a big bite. So, well, yeah, you see, there you go. It works for adults too. So, a a worm would be good. If they are fidgety, they can't stand still, maybe a crankbait. Show them how to cast a crankbait on a spinning bait, that is. So there are variety. There are so many, but you just got to pick one and stick to it. And then that's what my parents did. They picked one type of fishing style, which is a bluegill. Started me out with that. And what did I do? And, sometimes you might have to do that for a child. But as an adult, I would probably start them out with a Cinco, something simple. A Cinco, a crankbait, drop shot, Carolina rig, something like that. And let them do that for 15, 20 minutes and switch it so that they can have exposure to each individual or a different type of styles of fishing and baits.
Yeah, excellent. And they can learn to do that on your fishing page, right? You can
Exactly. I
you
mean,
can walk them through how to fish each of those techniques. See, we tie it
oh yeah.
together, and no pun intended when we tie it together.
Hey, you could do a little segment in each of your videos called Tie It Together, where you teach somebody something.
Tie it
Oh, see,
together. That sounds
good
like
stuff.
something good.
Yeah, it
Catchy,
does.
catchy phrase. See, we're all about catchphrases and stuff
We
around here.
are.
Now, to all 5 followers that we have or whatever it is,
Yeah.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, don't you?
you
Well,
do have to start somewhere.
I did try to start like a video on Sundays, but each Sunday I've been like quite busy. But I've got to get into that within the new year. Each Sunday do something as far as like, hey, learn how to tie with tie, or different styles of tying, or rigging, and how I fish it and stuff like that. Maybe that would help. And then what kind of bait I would use around here versus around, let's say, other lakes around that I have been to.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Ty, one of the things we talked about when you were in Wisconsin, for the listeners or watchers that don't know, Ty was on the state team with Julie whenever they went to Wisconsin this past October. And I and Julie practiced together, so that's how they got to know each other. And of course, you can't help but like Ty and Julie both. So here we
Oh,
are.
look, my
Look at
husband
this.
likes me.
I do. Enough to marry you. But one of the things we talked about was Ty's fishing journey. So Ty, would you share that with the listeners? Kind of how you got started and how you've progressed and come to where you have right now.
Well, it started, of course, my parents, and then how I got into fishing now, it wasn't bass fishing at first. It was more of like ocean fishing. I remember we moved to California, and my brother-in-law, he was actually dating my sister at the time. Then every Friday, he would say, "Hey, I'm gonna go fish. You want to go fish with me?" And this was like fishing overnight at on the San Mateo Bridge in California. So it's cold, freezing out in the San Francisco Bay or Oakland Bay or whatever. I've learned how to pretty much fish like for kingfish and stingrays and whatever we caught. So I got interested into fishing like that. And then it progressed from there. And then I guess we moved from California to Texas. And then I didn't do much fishing in Texas, just focused on school and military and then came back. And after that, it's funny because in 2000, I say 7 or 2006, I went to California, opened up an automotive shop, and I got back into fishing. So this type of fishing I did was in uh, the California Delta, and then of course the bigger body of channel is the Rio Vista, and it's like I remember at the time. I mean, it's like half a mile to a mile to the other side of the shore, and I bought this Crestliner 60 horsepower, went on the California Delta catching bait. So at that time, I didn't know about artificial bait. I was using more live bait like minnows or bluegills to catch what? Big old bass. I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8 pound bass on the California Delta and or striped bass. And striped bass, if you haven't had it, it's great. But sturgeon, striped bass, and everything. So, different styles, different techniques of fishing with those, right? And then how did I get into bass fishing? It was when I moved up here and I'm like, what does an average West Virginian do? Hunt and fish. I'm like, I can do that. So I got into hunting and then I got into fishing, right? And then fishing, I was catfishing right there at the Winfield Dam. And then I'm like, there's got to be more than this. So I looked into bass fishing a lot more. And I'm like, I've seen people use artificial lures. So I bought a bag of PBJ, Strike King Elastec PBJ, the 3 inch. I'm like, I'm going to use my technique, which I used stripe bass fishing. Put a slide sinker on and put a 1 ounce weight down. And then it's kind of like a Carolina rig, but then the slide sinker allows you to feed your line through this 1 inch tube that your leader line. And you can put a hook on the other end and slide it out, let the current take it out. Well, I did that because I didn't have a boat at the time. So I'm sitting on the bank right here in South Charleston, cast out, and I got a bite. I'm like, what is this? And sure enough, it was a smallmouth bass. I'm like, oh, these do work. So that's when the investment started.
That's how it happens.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
how
first
it
bite.
happens.
you
It's like
were
that first
hooked.
bite.
Yeah.
So I started watching videos. I got into it. I got into bass fishing. So I'm using my technique that I've learned from when I was younger. Just I learned that bass fishing, you got to keep an eye to being open. Try different new techniques. Try this. Hey, maybe this might work because that hunch might work out. And on our practice day up in Wisconsin, it worked out because we found the fish. And and I stuck to it. And the thing is, when I stuck to it and I realized the weather had a lot to do with where the fish had gone on the official tournament day. So, yeah, you just got to keep an open mind of trying something new. And we did. We found offshore stuff and lily pads. I mean, lily pads about 100 yards off or about 5, 6, 7, 8 feet of water. So I'm like, well, with this wind, we're a little bit blocked. I threw my Cinco bait and I got bit. And then, of course, my non-boat, he threw a tube and he got bit. and it's all in that color. So you got to keep that mind open. So we went and tried to find instructions and offshore stuff. But the wind, Mother Nature had her mind set on something different. So,
Wisconsin.
oh yeah, Wisconsin.
Oh,
It
Yeah.
was
Wisconsin.
brutal.
But,
It was
yo,
brutal to me.
it
It was
was
brutal to
brutal.
me.
But
Yeah, the
my bass fishing career progressed, and I started working into uh, CPG, or Columbia Gas Pipeline at the time. And I remember the coworker named Tony Dean, great guy. He's like, Ty, I heard that you are into bass fishing and you've done some bass fishing, and I have, on a smaller scale and stuff like that. Why don't you join me in a tournament? And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And that first tournament I went, okay, I felt the adrenaline rush. I felt the bite. So after that, I was hooked. I only went tournament fishing after that, right? And then fast forward, COVID hit, and we went only to one Marshall tournament. And then now it's like May, June, July. I'm like, man, we got to do something, Tony. He's like, well, I'm busy, Ty. Got work and he's traveling and everything. I'm like, I totally understand. So, well, my bass boat journey has been something funny too. It's a progression, and I mean, it's great. So it started with a 14-foot John boat, put some wood on it, and made a platform and trolling motor, and then of course, I'm like, okay, cool. I sold that off, got more money, went and bought another boat, and it progressed from there. But one of the funny thing is that there was a 10-foot Pelican boat that I bought. It was like for 800. Okay, cool. I got a 9.9 Johnson Seahorse in the back. And I got a trolling motor I can put on. So I put it on, put everything tested on land before I put Bell on it, out on the Canal River in Albans. Okay. So we got on the boat. It was so funny. So we got on, she got on. It's a two-seater, so I went to the back and I pulled on the motor. After 3 times it started up and then it died. I'm like, okay, no problem. Pull, and then my third pull, the pull rope broke. And then Michelle's like, what? What's going on? I'm like, nothing. So I turned around and like tapped on her shoulder and I gave her the pull handle. I'm like, can you hold this? She's like, what is this? She looked at it. She's like, what are we going to do? So we're floating down in the middle of the Canal River. Oh, yeah. So, but I have my trolling motor. So we trolled back and got her back on land, put the boat back up, and then drove it home, put it on Facebook for sale the next day. And then, so, you know, this is like a backstory before I got my boat, the Ranger. So, and then 4th of July came. At that time, I bought a bass tracker with a 9.9 in the back, nice deck. I mean, trolling motor. It was great. And so she's in the back sunbathing and stuff like that on 4th of July. And here, I think there was a tournament that day out in Nitro because we went from Nitro to the mouth of the Cole. Well, needless to say, here comes a bass boat. And we're like still going. 20 minutes later, they done passed Cole already like a minute ago. We're still coming up on Cole 20 minutes later on a 9.9 horsepower. Yeah. So, at that time, I'm like, man, how am I going to compete with these guys if I have a 9.9 horsepower in the back? And then they got a 250 horse motor. So fast forward back to 2020 COVID. So, at that time, I've been looking at boats. And so I bought my first boat, which is a 2009 Ranger 521. And I loved that boat. It was great. Had a
yeah,
250 Yamaha show on it.
solid boat.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, and then, of course, a few years after, here's the Nitro. I got the Nitro, and I could not be more happy to have this because it's a great boat. Julie knows, plenty of space.
It's a good boat.
Yeah, dual
Yep.
console, right? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Protected her.
yep.
That's one
That's
thing.
when you're a co-angler, man, that you look for those dual consoles. Like you just pray that your boater has a dual console.
Yeah,
And
Wisconsin was cold, and I really, really noticed what life is like without a dual console because Kevin's always had one, so I haven't fished a lot without a dual console. And whew,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean it is night and day.
Oh, yeah, for
Well
sure.
worth it.
I mean that's the thing. Michelle would not want me to get a single console bow because for her to go fish with me. Yeah, that is gonna happen this year. So I don't know if she is. She's probably not gonna wake up early enough for that, but she'll fish with me sometime. I have a list of my fishing tournaments for 2026. We pull it up. So, of course, we have the Club Nation Fish on Bassmasters. We're doing that. And then, of course, we got the Great Outdoor Marines, which they just had posted the 2020 schedule. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
And then
that's
the,
opening in Cumberland, right? Is that Lake
yes, yes,
Cumberland? Yeah.
What's that?
opening.
We don't do that?
We haven't done that, but Lake Cumberland's where I fished the Toyota Championship the one year.
Okay.
It's a
You
great
should,
lake.
it's big lake. I've been doing the South Central tournament with Kevin Adkins, trying to get to this classic right here, but they moved the classic. It was supposed to be this weekend, 2 day, but then they moved it to the third and fourth, and which I won't be able to make it now because I'll be in Houston. But my schedule, I mean, right now I got so Fish as a Man starts out 2 days right there in March. Our club tournament, Lake Norman, in February on 28th. I'm not going to talk about all the dates, but as far as like my tournament goes, what trails I'm fishing, Bass Nation Team Trail,
Nice.
the Bass Nation qualifier right there in Cherokee, Tennessee.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
Get
Fish
that.
on. So I talked about Fish on Bassmaster, which is our club tournament, Fishers of Men, and then the Great Outdoor Marines tournament. So you're looking about what, 1, 2, 3, the qualifier 4. That's only one tournament, and then the team trail 5. So there's a good bit, 5 trails, and then not including our Bass Nation qualifier and then the championship. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Cool.
got 40 lines of dates.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, that's the way. That's the way to do it, Ty. If you just jump right in there,
Oh yeah.
So it's almost every weekend then.
Yeah, almost every
Yeah.
weekend. So I had told Michelle about my schedule for 2026, and she looked at me. She's like, "So does this mean that this is another trip to Calvin Broyles?" I'm like, "Quite possibly, yes."
There you go, Michelle. See, maybe I'm hurting myself fishing with you because I
Sorry,
could
Kevin.
probably if I
You can't
don't
use that.
if I don't
Yeah,
fish with
See, the
him.
problem is if she doesn't fish with me, then she's going to regret that more.
exactly. And she'll
Yeah.
feel her fingers would just twirl around like this, and yeah.
Yep. She would be somewhere else going, wish I was fishing.
I'd be at a thrift store going, "Oh gosh, where am I going to put all this junk?" I know.
Auctioning off your fishing stuff
Yes,
too.
I'll be
So
auctioning it. Yes.
yeah.
Could be. So what else do we have for Ty?
Everybody that comes on our podcast has to answer this question.
And I already know what Ty's going to say.
You have to pick one lure, one color to fish with. It's the only thing you get to fish with for the rest of your life. What are you picking?
What lure did I give you? What bait did I give you?
Oh, you're not going to say it because it's a secret, right?
No, I'll say it. It's Dirty Plum.
Okay.
It's a Cinco
Cinco.
Dirty Plum. Oh, no. It's fine with me. I told Grant the other day when I went down to look at the bait selections that he's got, and then I went to the Yamamoto section. I looked. I'm like, Grant, one thing that you don't have on here, because I got all these baits already, and I do have most of the Cinco baits. Every time I go by it, each year it's like $300-400 worth of Cinco baits, maybe more. I don't know. Yeah, who's counting anyways? But I'm by most of them are the Yamamoto Dirty Plum Cinco baits. It works in every different color of water, stain or clear. I mean, the clear sends out perfect. Even up in lacrosse, I threw that thing and that water is so clear, and I had 12-pound test. Bam. And then, of course, Stonewall. Stonewall works perfect for it. And the Ned rig, too.
Now
I think
everybody's going to be
Yeah.
going to be using your secret bait and
I don't.
gonna have
Oh,
to
I
find
got
another.
other things too.
Mix it up.
I mean, yeah, exactly. But you know what? Fishing to me is more of a learning and sharing, right? I don't care to share my experience because I want other people to actually experience that too and catch fish. So,
your personality stands out and your willingness to help other people. And I told you in Wisconsin, and you did it. I was like, do not be so generous to your co-angler during the tournament that you hurt yourself. And what did you do? You caught a fish.
I know.
And then you said to your co-angler, "Hey, throw in here," when you didn't even have your limit. Boaters don't do that.
But I guess,
But
I'm not.
that's who you are as a human, though,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
Ty.
that is a really, really good quality. And
yeah.
we enjoyed getting to know you guys, and we've watched some of your videos, and I don't think you're getting as many views as you could be. And maybe we can steer some people to watch your stuff because you deserve it.
Well,
Yeah,
I do
and
appreciate that. Thank you.
the other thing we had on our list, Ty, was, you know, what is it? Is it Swindle that's, talks about the positive mental attitude, right? Gerald Swindle. And he has the whole thing. And you're kind of the embodiment of that from what I've seen. Maybe we should get Michelle to answer this. Is that Ty all the time? Are you always that positive? I think you are. I think you're just a positive guy.
Well, I am always like that. And I'm calm. I'm always calm. No matter the outcome of anything, just have fun. That's what fishing is. It teaches you to be patient. It teaches you to just have fun. And, it doesn't matter. It does matter if you are to yourself. To me, I want to have that experience as much as my boater. I went into the opens, right? I went to the Bassmaster Opens one time, and my 2-day pros, they were not selfish at all. You know, they say, hey, you know, we're gonna go here and do this, but you can cast whatever, do whatever you want. And if I catch a fish, I'll tell you. And most of the time, that's what happened. And they're like, hey, cast right here because there's a follower, there's a bigger one, and I would catch the fish. So I kind of try to follow that, and I don't want my non-boater or my partner that's fishing with me to be uncomfortable on the boat because this is an open water. It's not my water.
Julie enjoyed fishing with you, Ty, and we enjoyed getting to know you in Wisconsin. And it's been a pleasure. We we wish you all the success in the world. With your social media and in fishing. Even though you're going to be fishing against us this year, I would. There's people that you don't want to lose to, and then there's people that you don't mind losing to. And I'll lose to you any day, Ty. As far as that goes. If
Don't
I
want to.
don't want to, I'm
Well,
going to
we
try
will.
not to. But if I do, kudos to you. You're someone that everybody can root for, and we'll always be rooting for you, and we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes at tournaments you're like you don't want to lose, but like you kind of like wish like, man, I wish that dude would win.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. There's
if I
definitely
can't win, I wish that person would win.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So
no, I do
so yeah,
appreciate you guys.
we're excited about this season, and we look forward to seeing you, and hopefully we can do a tournament recap where we can interview the winner and it's tied in.
yeah,
Oh,
So
yeah, that
that
would
would
be
be
great.
great.
Yeah. I mean,
So
there are a lot of tournaments this year, so therefore,
yeah,
we'll have a lot of
we're planning to
opportunities.
do the Fisher's Immense stuff.
yeah. And
Great.
see with Ty, everything is an opportunity. He when he was talking about a lot of tournaments this year, there's a lot of chances for me to be on the podcast as the
Yeah,
winner. So
yeah.
I like
You
that.
you
Yeah.
might just be on the podcast week after week after week after week, and they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, again?"
Yeah, it's the Ty
Oh,
Dinh
well,
podcast.
Tying it together.
That's right.
tying it together, tying the fishing world together. That's
That's-
great. Yeah. I mean, I love how we met, and I love how, you and I and Michelle were able to come and sit and talk and stuff like that. And she does appreciate a lot of the stuff that you guys do.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
I mean, we really enjoyed getting to know you guys, and we still need to go out to dinner because we said we were going to do that when we got back
did.
home.
This is true.
Now it's wintertime and I'm hibernating.
Yeah. So Ty, where can people find you on social media? Let us talk
Well,
about that a second.
you
I'm
can
going to
find
write
me on
this down
Facebook.
so we can put it on the description when the podcast goes live.
Okay. Yeah. So TikTok, of course, I'm on TikTok. It's Only Fishing Fans. And then YouTube is going to be Only Fishing Fans as well. And then on Facebook, it'll be me. But so I post a lot of my sponsorship posts. And then sometimes I'll post my, fun individual personal posts that everyone does on their Facebook page. So I'll probably do a lot of that. So I have 3 social medias going. I don't know if I'm going to give into X yet or even Instagram. I got 3 things to juggle with, and it
Yeah.
takes a lot, as you guys know. When
It
you
is a
do
lot.
content, you got to do a lot of editing.
Well,
So
I was telling him a little bit ago, I was like, I like have a personal YouTube and the fishing YouTube, and then we did the fishing TikTok and my personal TikTok and the fishing, and I was like, I'm really sick of social media today. Just
yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to take a couple days or start focusing on one thing instead of trying to juggle like so many.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the struggle is what camera you guys are using. A lot of folks they use the GoPro, and I have some issues with GoPro. And then, of course, my Insta 360. I like that better because I can fast forward, I can edit the videos a lot better than the GoPro because the GoPro you have to do it with the app, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this is cumbersome. So, I can't deal with that. So I think I'm gonna focus next year using the Insta 360 instead of the
Now,
GoPro.
did that have one you could wear on your shirt?
You can wear that on your shirt. They call it the Insta 360 Go. It goes onto either your hat or onto your shirt. But the other one, the camera that records 360, and you can pan whenever. It seems like you have a camera person on the boat with you. It's just like
Yeah.
when Lee Hess and we were fishing, and we took off at Nitro, went down to this one creek, and his tackle box bait bag was in the middle. And when we got there, it's like, Lee, where is your tackle bag? And we're like, oh crap, what happened? So we went back and we found it floating. Luckily, it was floating. It took both of us to pull it back in. And then I told him, let me review the camera and see what happened. And that was in one of the YouTube video that I had was Lee's bag. It had lift and it started rolling back. I mean, like it rolled back and we didn't even know about it. We're just oblivious of it. And it just like rolled back casually. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
that would just make you sick though. Like a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of money in inside a tackle bag.
Well, Ty, we appreciate the time. And like I said, we'll see you on the water this year and we'll talk.
We'll
and
let you know when your episode will be dropping.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Should be in the next
Okay.
3 weeks.
Yeah, should
Awesome.
be. Yep,
All right.
we'll let you know.
All right.
All right. Well, Ty, take
Well,
it easy. Tell Michelle we said hi.
I
And
will.
we'll talk soon.
All right.
Yep. If I don't talk to you guys before, happy
Thank
New
you.
Year's.
Thank you. We'll be we're going actually to South Carolina fishing
Yeah, we're gonna leave
right
Christmas
around
Day,
Christmas.
come back New Year's
Yeah.
sometime.
Sometime.
Well,
Yeah. Hopefully catch something big.
jealous.
We've been trying for years. We know
Where-
they're in there.
Yeah,
We're in South Carolina or
Santee Cooper, Lake Marion.
that's where they did the one of the not the opens but the qualifier, I think. Fishers of Men qualifier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Talk to
Yep.
you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ty.
Bye.
Bye, Joey. Bye,
Bye.
Ken.